called Tortilla Flat, although it isn't a flat at all. Danny was a paisano, and he grew up in Tortilla Flat, and everyone liked him. But he didn't stand out particularly from the screeching children of Tortilla Flat. He was related to nearly everyone in the flat by blood or romance. His grandfather was an important man who owned 2 small houses in Tortilla Flat, and was respected for his wealth. If the growing Danny preferred to sleep in the forest, to work on ranches, and to wrest his food and wine from an unwilling world, it was not because he didn't have influential relatives. Danny was small and dark and intent. At 25, his legs were bent to the exact curves of a horse's sides. Now, when Danny was 25 years old, the war with Germany was declared. Danny and his friend Pilon — Pilon, by the way, is something thrown in when a trade is conducted, a boot — had 2 gallons of wine when they heard about the war. Big Joe Portuguese saw the glitter of the bottles among the pines, and he joined Danny and Pilon. As the wine went down in the bottles, patriotism arose in the 3 men. And when the wine was gone, they went down the hill arm in arm for comradeship and safety, and they walked into Monterey. In front of an enlistment station, they cheered loudly for America and dared Germany to do her worst. They howled menaces at the German Empire until the enlistment sergeant awakened and put on his uniform and came into the street to silence them. He remained to enlist them. The sergeant lined them up in front of his desk. They passed everything but the sobriety test, and then the sergeant began his questions with Pilon. "What branch do you want to go in?" "I don't give a goddamn," said Pilon jauntily. "I guess we need men like you in the infantry." And Pilon was written so. He turned then to Big Joe, and the Portuguese was getting sober. "Where do you want to go?" "I want to go home," Big Joe said miserably. The sergeant put him in the infantry too. Finally, he confronted Danny, who was sleeping on his feet. "Where do you want to go?" "Huh?" "I say, what branch?" "What do you mean, branch?" "What can you do?" "Me? I can do anything." "What did you do before?" "Me? I'm a mule skinner." "Oh, you are? How many mules can you drive?" Danny leaned forward, vaguely and professionally. "How many you got?" "About 30,000, said the sergeant. Danny waved his hand. "String 'em up," he said. And so Danny went to Texas and broke mules for the duration of the war. And Pilon marched about Oregon with the infantry, and Big Joe, as shall be later made clear, went to jail. Chapter 1. How Danny, home from the wars, found himself an heir, and how he swore to protect the helpless. When Danny came home from the army, he learned that he was an heir and an owner of property. The viejo, that is the grandfather, had died, leaving Danny the 2 small houses on Tortilla Flat. When Danny heard about it, he was a little weighed down with the responsibility of ownership. Before he ever went to look at his property, he bought a gallon of red wine and drank most of it himself. The weight of responsibility left him then, and his very worst nature came to the surface. He shouted. He broke a few chairs in a pool room on Alvarado Street. He had 2 short but glorious fights. No one paid much attention to Danny. At last his wavering bow legs took him toward the wharf, where at this early hour in the morning the Italian fishermen